It's Charles Barkley with Wayfair. It's outdoor season, and my patio setup better be ready to play. That's where Wayfair wins. Patio seating, umbrellas, and grills, all delivered fast and easy. Shop wayfair.ca now.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
All right, let's talk city politics for the next few moments here. You know, if you look at city politics, you've got one party, Projet Montreal, and boy, do they seem stronger than ever, right? You know, you just look at election after election and how that party has grown, and just the brand of Projet Montreal. It seems to be quite the strong brand when it comes to municipal politics. And the party itself is a strong brand, not necessarily reliant on the name of their leader. Now let's juxtapose that with Ensemble Montreal, a party that has long been seen as the party of Denis Coderre. Next guest is the leader of Ensemble Montreal, looking to revamp the party's image and give Projet Montreal a run for their money. Aref Salem is on the line. Monsieur Salem, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
So I took a great interest into a story this week with you. You were interviewed by Journal de Montréal, and you sort of said, "Hey, listen, you know, I want to make this party a real party, not just a vessel for a leader with a big name." Let's talk a little bit more about that. What do you think has happened to Ensemble Montréal over the last few years?
Well, basically, we were kind of a banner. We weren't really a party. We was a party in waiting, and back then we knew like the things how it happened. I know that Denis Coderre, he did his best. He tried twice. It didn't work. He wanted us to be a banner in 2013, so we were the way the leader was. In 2017, Lionel Perez, he took over and he did really a great job in the council. We were really a great opposition at the city, except we had a debt and we had no volunteers, we had no associations in the boroughs. So now with a debt of around $481,000, with huge people mobilized. Well, basically, it's a big debt that we have, but we have a lot of mobilized elected officials in the party. With 37 that we're working really hard to make sure to finish with this debt, to put in place a plan, because we have a plan for the next few years, and make sure this party will be a real party, and that's the goal that we're working on.
And you mentioned 37 elected officials there. That's a good number. That's more than enough of a basis for a party here. But Mr. Salem, I sort of struggle, I guess, when I say, what does Ensemble Montreal stand for? I cannot actually come up with that, especially not in the same way that I can answer the question, what does Projet Montreal stand for? So let me ask you, what does Ensemble Montreal stand for right now, or is that part of the problem?
The thing is, we had really a great platform. Even, Projet Montreal, they copied a lot of ideas that we had. But the problem that we had during the last campaign, it was like, we had the whole campaign, it was running around the personality of the leader. It wasn't a debate of ideas. And the thing is, today, we have to bring Ensemble Montreal we have to create this platform and to make sure that everyone has values and environment has values in any values, like, social development, to make sure that he has a place to debate his ideas, and we can work together and at least prepare the next campaign beginning of today. Mm-hmm. The party will be open, and there is committees put in place next month to make sure in finance, in mobility, in environment, in economic development, so we can bring at least the ideas together, debate them in the party, and make sure at least at the end of the day, we're going to propose new ideas to the Montrealers. Even though as Projet Montreal, we can talk about them in environment. But let's say environment, what did they do for the recycling? It's totally mess at the city right now. If we think of mobility, tell me where is the pink line today? If we think about even mobility, tell me about the light train system in the east, what's going on? It's not going to, for me, we're not going to see it. So even though they're communicating well, but the ideas and debate of ideas, it's not going nowhere right now. We're not going to be a party of just talking. We're going to try at least to bring and to prove to Montrealers there is an alternative in 2025 to Projet Montreal, even in mobility, in environment, and we're going to have a platform that is going to be feasible, not depending on the level of government.
We're with Aref Salem, leader of Ensemble Montreal, talking about the party. Now, Aref, you mentioned lots of runway here. 2025, next election, lots of time here, right? But I guess I would ask you, let's say we met at a cocktail party. And, I find out you're the leader of Ensemble Montreal, and I say, that's so interesting. What does Ensemble Montreal stand for? Could you answer that today?
Yes, it's going to be, Ensemble Montreal is going to be to make, we're going to work on human scale, that's for sure. We're going to work, we know that Montreal, it's not a one-size-fits-all. We know that there is places in Montreal that we're going to work to have more bike paths. We're going to work to have the boroughs. It's not all the same. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna work on environment too. We're gonna prove to Montreal that we have ideas that it works, ideas that we can at least bring down the greenhouse gases. We did it in Saint Laurent. We have a proof of how we did it in Saint Laurent. So why the city of Montreal they don't take what it's been done today in many boroughs and well done and at least put them in place? So we have examples of things that we did already. We are going to define ourselves better, and we are going to communicate with Montrealers better and make sure that we will be a real alternative to Projet Montreal in 2025.
When I look at Projet Montreal, I find it so fascinating because they had slow growth, right? Oh, they win a borough. Then they keep the borough, and they win another borough. Then they keep, and then they kept growing, and then they won the whole thing, right? And I guess the question I have for you is, where do you look for Ensemble Montreal? What's a borough, and you mentioned Saint Laurent just now, but is there a borough that you would say is the blueprint for how to say, look at our success in a borough, let's do what we're doing in this borough, and let's do it citywide?
Yes, for sure. I can give the example of Saint Laurent. I gave the example. All the promoters now in Saint Laurent, they don't build without having certification, silver LEED minimum, and that's we're contributing to decrease the greenhouse gases emission in the city. That we have programs that we put in place in Saint Laurent that we can at least put them at the level of Montreal, and you will see in the coming month, you're going to see ideas going out to the public and saying to the government, to the population of Montreal, well, these are ideas that we have to bring them all over the city, and it's Ensemble Montreal who is bringing these ideas. So the work is, we start to do the work. We have to put in place 19 associations in the 19 boroughs too. Mm-hmm. So this structure has to be done, that we can have volunteers, that we can have militants, that we can have people having their own ideas and debate their own ideas in a platform which is Ensemble Montreal. And this work, we start to do it. It's going to take some time, but the plan is there, and we're following the plan.
And that name, Ensemble Montreal, that's sticking around, right? That's the banner. That's what you want to keep there. You're attached to that.
We're ensemble, ensemble, we can go further.
Uh-huh. All right, Mr. Salem, great talking to you. Thank you for coming on the show.
It's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure, yes.
That is Aref Salem, the leader of Ensemble Montreal, and there you have it. Lots of runway, 3-4 years here till the next election, but clearly things are changing inside Ensemble Montreal.